So we've just arrived in Tywyn now. We're just going to walk to the railway. We decided that we'll just walk straight to the Talyllyn Railway because it's just there and it's on the way to our accommodation. Because we can't check in till 4, it's only 1:30. So we've got like 2 hours, so we're just going to go and get food. So that's okay, but we can see it in sight now, and it's just the adrenaline from last year's rushing back. Would Luke say the same thing? Yeah. The adrenaline rushing back from last year?
Oh yeah, there's the excitement.
Yeah. We'll see them in a moment. So there it is, Tywyn Wharf, the very entrance. We're back here after a year, and we're excited. Excited is an understatement, but we've made it. Everything's there. It's all up there. So it's all great.
As we had arrived in Tywyn on the Saturday, the event was already in full swing, and because of our arrival, we were only going to be partaking in one event that day. That being the lecture, which would once again feature Tim Dunn and Rev W Awdry's daughter, Veronica Chambers. But that wasn't until later on, and we had some time to kill before we could check into our accommodation, so we explored the wharf, seeing the engines with faces once again, including Dolgok, who had returned after an absence from last year's Extravaganza and was now in character as either Smudger or Renias. However, Peter Sam was absent this time around, as that engine's basis, Edward Thomas, was currently in Aberystwyth, having its boiler renewed. We immediately began to chat with the other fans who were also in attendance, many of whom had brought models of their own, and Luke was getting recognised by many almost immediately.
So we just watched Sir Hayden head out through there as Sir Handel, and yeah, we're just all chilling over here, and yeah, so we're just enjoying ourselves down here and just admiring everything really. But we're all getting a bit. We're just waiting until we can go back into our accommodation.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, we're just passing the time. But this man's been recognised
several times.
Even I've been recognised as Jackass as well.
Robin's been recognised.
As is Robin, yeah. Like, I went to Star Wars Celebration, nobody recognised me. Like, and I'm not surprised nobody recognised me because I'm not that popular. But to get recognised here, even though my channel's not specifically Thomas focused, it's yeah, it's quite great to have that, actually, just have that attention for once. So yeah, but we're just once we get over to double bags with the camera, but my camera's going to start running low soon, so I'm going to have to go easy on filming stuff with this at the minute.
Save some battery for the lecture.
Yeah, for that, and hopefully we can get Tim or Luke crying on camera when that comes, so that should be fine. So yeah, but we'll film whatever other B-roll we can get from over here, and we'll get more of it later.
We eventually set off towards our accommodation, which this time around was a caravan, a short walk from the wharf, and its location really made us appreciate where we would be for the week.
So we've just got to our accommodation now, and yeah, we just had a good walk around the wharf there, and had a wander around. We had some lunch in the cafe. Well, Jack and I did have a bite to eat, and we've just got here. We're just getting settled into our place of accommodation. I tried to resist it already a bit ahead of time, but I've already bought a little souvenir or two from the gift shop at Talyllyn. If I can actually find out where I put them, I'll be able to find them there. They're in that little bag. So I went to the gift shop. I was trying to see if I can get a print for Tim Dunn or Luke Ryan to sign. I did actually bump into Tim Dunn. I was in the refreshment room about to get a just buy my stuff. I was literally by the counter, and Tim just wandered in. I just said, oh, hello, and shook his hand. So yeah, so I went and just bought a small selection of Railway series books to keep me going there. They'll go on my railway shelf at home. So I've picked up what I'd say would be an essential one for this weekend. Four Little Engines, which is of course the one that introduced the Skarloey Railway, and this one just had my favourite little story in there. Brake van, twin engines, and Duck in the diesel engine, great character, and I just thought, why not with that one? We'll just have that one, and again Gordon, a great character, because he's Flying Scotsman based, so that's the idea. I would like to get you see, I would like to get Enterprising Engines, because that one does feature Flying Scotsman, so that would be a good one to have a physical copy of as well. So maybe towards the end of the visit I'll see if they've got any of that one in.
Do they have copies of all 26 there?
Not all of them, some of them had sold out, but they might have more in the back, you don't know.
But it's like they've got places, so they intend to sell all 26 when they have them.
Yeah, pretty much, something like that, yeah. So I've got a small collection there. I mean, I've got the big companion book anyway, but I just think with the presence of Flying Scotsman in that one, I wouldn't mind getting a copy of the Enterprising Engines as well, probably just so I have those ones. And yeah, because it's all like a new scan of the pictures. So I'll just see if I can get one up here. I've got one of the books in my hands and see if I can get a good photo of one of them. So I'll just quickly open the book and get an idea in them. Let's see what we can find in there. And yeah, so this one here from Down the Mine, that features Gordon and Thomas. It's just a much better, clearer print. I'll try and get a better picture of that later on as well, but they're much, much better from what we have. But we're just going to chill here until the lecture later on, so that's all good.
After settling into our home for the week, we headed to our first event, the Evening with Veronica and Tim, which this year took place at the Magic Lantern Cinema in Tywyn, which we had admired last year but never actually had a chance to visit. Needless to say, this was a spectacular venue to hold this event in. The event consisted of Veronica doing a talk with the Rev W Awdry's life and the lasting impact the Railway series had, as well as learning some new aspects which we may not have known. Following this, Tim Dunn took to the stage with two of the fellow volunteers, and they took on the roles of children and parents who had written letters to the Reverend, with Tim taking on the role of Awdry to read them out. I had even walked out of the lecture with a little more than I had expected as well.
Tim Dunn helped do the readout here. He played Rev W Awdry, and I went and met him again, and I got his autograph this time around. I bought the book of 4 Little Engines with me, and I got him to sign that, and that's all I win. And we had another charity auction, in which this time I was the lucky one to win something, unlike usual bloke Luke, who is just there. Jack, who's there having a quick smoke.
I feel like Gene Kelly.
I know, and Robin with his umbrella as well. And I'm about to get mine out and get ready because we've got another about 10-15 minute walk back to our accommodation. At least it's a bit more of an improvement over last year, where we would have walked 3 miles in that direction, but we're just walking about half a mile that way, which is not so bad when you put that in context, so that'll be good. We're going to go back and just chill for the night, and then we'll enjoy tomorrow. So we'll catch you on there back at the accommodation. So it's Sunday morning now, and we're just getting ready to head back out to the wharf again. But a bit of great news after last night's heavy rain. I'm just going to turn the camera there so we get the light on me. So after we had a lot of heavy rain last night. Like being in here was fine, but on the bright side today, there is a lot of blue sky that's actually come out. It's over the sea right now. We just realised we're able to appreciate just how close we are to the sea from our caravan, as I can just see it, and Robin's just making a funny face there. But honestly, seeing all that blue sky has really livened it up for this holiday. So it means hopefully we get a lot more of this as the week progresses, and the weather tries to stay nice to us at least some of the time.
We headed back out of the caravan park and made the short walk back to Tywyn Wharf, admiring the scenery of the Welsh mountains as we went along. And the first primary thing I did on arrival was pick up my auction prize, a copy of Sodor Reading Between the Lines, signed by Christopher Awdry.
And as we said, signed by Christopher Awdry himself.
That is
right
fantastic.
Like that. That is a fantastic thing to get my hands on in the lecture after what Luke won last year with the Oliver book. So it's a good win-win situation.
Definitely.
Right.
I even jumped at the chance to meet Veronica in person, who very kindly signed a copy of the 3 railway engines, which I bought at the gift shop. Then following this, we hung around the wharf once again, chatting with other fans who had come from far and wide to attend this event, and a revisit to the Narrow Gauge Museum.
So of course I'm now just wandering around the Narrow Gauge Museum. We'll be back in here later for the Awdry Exhibit later on, but it's very different to the train museum in York. I mean, I've went to that one, and of course recently opened up Locomotion, a bit more recently in the northeast, also near Darlington. They opened that, and they've also got the Crewe Heritage Centre. Both those I want to visit. I've not been to yet. I hope to go to the other one there at some point in Locomotion, but definitely because it's more like an extension to the National Railway Museum, so that would be worth visiting. But I mean, just to come back here and see this one again, and just see all the little details there. I mean, because I've been to the York Train Museum twice in the last year now, but to come back to this one and explore it again is definitely worth the ride, worth the visit, and just seeing all this historical facts once again.
The museum also housed a mock-up of the Rev W Awdry's study, and his model Farquhar branch line, on which volunteers for the event were running specifically to his own timetable. This allowed us to pass the time until our first major event of the day, the Pop Special, which, similar to last year's picnic train, involved a journey up to Abergynolwyn and a meal provided at the other end. This would be pulled this year by Duncan, who had a brand new face for the 2023 Extravaganza.
So the sun's come out, and with that the shades, and we're finally on board a train because this pop special has arrived. I'm sat here next to Luke, and Robin is on the other side, and Jack is opposite me. Yeah, so we're up to enjoy this journey. We got a view of the wharf just out here. That's Jack's little friend out there with the purple shirt, talking to the people over there. He's giving him a quick wave. Jack knows that man, so that's there. We've got Rusty there and everything else that's there on the side. So we're just waiting for a little ticket inspection. We have a weird little anchor in the carriage with us.
Yeah, we've got.
So, I don't know what that is.
We've got some exclusive merch.
That's a coupling. Yeah. That we've got inside with us. I don't know why we've got it in here, but it's here.
Oh, it's
there anyway.
lovely and greasy. Oh no!
Jack's just messed his hand up. He's not alone because I touched Rusty's buffer, and that used to be worse than it was.
High
now.
five.
No.
Anyone bring any tissues?
No.
I might have one, I'm not sure.
But yeah.
I have serviettes at the cafe.
Yeah. And there's toilets down there at Abergnaw as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is basically the equivalent to the picnic tour that we did last year. I don't think we're getting bags of Awdry merch this time around, which unfortunately I don't think Tim's doing a live stream like he did last year. So well, I think he did one yesterday because we had this pop special yesterday as well. But of course last year Tim did a thing, and Duncan is just going past now.
Bloody ISO, I keep having to turn this up
And of course, so we're just waiting now to be moved off. So yeah, that's right. So we'll get our ticket check done, and then we'll be on our way to Abergnaw. So we've got to Abergnaw now. We're on our way to get our food for our pop special.
Yes, we are.
It's just basically the same as the picnic from last year. So
Only with nicer weather.
yeah, the weather's actually been nice to us this time around. So that's a big win for this visit this time around. And we're just going to enjoy ourselves and get our food, and then enjoy this. And then head back to the Tywyn.
We arrived back from the pop special in time to begin our next event, the Awdry Exhibit, which showcased a lot of memorabilia from the Rev W Awdry's history and the history of the Railway series, with Mike O'Donnell and Junior Campbell's music playing in the background. However, there was a brand new addition to this year's exhibit.
So the sound we've got noted here is reference to the sad story of Henry, where we all know Henry got bricked up in a tunnel because they refused to leave it. They initially intended a broadcast of this back in 1953, in which Henry actually came off the line due to a set of derailed points, and a hand was seen putting him back on the line, and that kind of screwed the whole thing up, and the whole thing sort of just ended after that. So until Britt Orcoff got her hands on it years later, we didn't get any further adaptations of Thomas. That was like sort of a first attempt we had using Holby models, but it just didn't work as the way it was. But it worked out in the end when we got the show we know and love now. So the photo indicated in that one is the Reverend Awdry as the thin clergyman, and then we've got here Teddy Boston, who was a good friend of his, also known as the fat clergyman in the series. And they were, because obviously this is taken from Duke of the Lost Engine, and they were in the deal of trying to find the Lost Engine Duke, in the story Sleeping Beauty, which they would eventually find as depicted there. This is what happens in the book. This is also depicted in the TV show as well, but the episodes Grandpuff and Sleeping Beauty. So that's what we got totally easy depicted out as Reverend sort of wrote himself into the storyline. Very well done. Down here right in front of me right now is an actual model of Henry that was used in the television show. This one down here. According to the thing on the bottom, this was actually one of the models that was used in the very first series of the show in 1984. Of course, this is based from the books from the 3 railway engines all the way through to go to the big engine. So Henry's featured in a handful of these episodes, both in his original shape and in his new shape. And the model depicted down here is Henry in his newer shape, in which he was rebuilt to an LMS Stanier Black 5. That's based on there. He appears like that after the events of the episode The Flying Kipper. Early on he was some sort of LNER prototype kind of thing that was made. He was put out of order, that's the gist of the episodes that he's in. Then he's rebuilt into this when he has his accident, The Flying Kipper, and he's remained like this ever since, especially the TV show and in there. So that's very much a good... Quite cool to see an actual model of Henry from the show in person right now.
After our time in the exhibit was up, we headed back outside to once again watch other trains come through and see more models that had been placed out, before awaiting our final event of the day, for which I was most excited as we had missed out on it last year.
So we're preparing now for the final part of this, and it's the photo charter. Duncan is just on his way back to drop off the train there, and we'll be getting on board and we'll get a photo taken in front of him. And then we'll head off to do the photo charter. So that's our last major event of the Extravaganza 2023. But good times have been had of this event so far. So there's definitely a lot more to look forward to with this final part. And then we've got our week in Tywyn to look forward to.
We would once again ride in Duncan, who would take us up the line where we could take photographs of the engine and recreate images from the books, even helped by the contribution of costumed actors.
So we're at Nango 1 now, which is the final station on the route. Very end, the end of the route. Literally, as you just saw there, we filmed Douglas Duncan turning around. Obviously the engine's original name is Douglas and it will be Douglas tomorrow. But yeah, we're just about to make our return journey back to Tywyn Wharf, and then we'll arrive back in Tywyn Wharf, and I think we're just going to head to get takeaway in the town. And then either go down the beach if we feel up to it, and if not, we'll just go back to our caravan.
Considering how it looks like it might rain, we might have to...
It's going to start raining.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to start raining, so I think we go back to our caravan once we've got our takeaway food, and then we'll sit in the caravan and we'll watch... I think we might watch With Nil and I tonight, or something. Ooh, we'll watch something. We'll definitely watch something tonight and enjoy it. But yeah, we're on our way back now, so sit back for the ride the rest of the way, and then we'll be back in our caravan before we know it.
So all in all, I could say that this extravaganza was a huge success and was worth making the effort to return to Tywyn to visit the railway and once again be part of this big community, but our visit to Wales was far from over.